Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Hey everyone, and welcome to 50 Shades of Bullshit. I'm your host, Christine Lalonde, and this is the podcast where we uncover the truth about online dating. Now let's begin.
Hey everyone, welcome to 50 Shades of Bullshit, where we talk about modern dating and finding love. I'm Christine Lalonde, your host.
And I'm Janice, tonight's co-host.
Yeah, Janice. Hi, babe. Thanks for being here.
My pleasure. I always love connecting with you and having girl talk with you.
So, girl talk is good time.
Mm-hmm.
So Gabby is out this week. She's not feeling well still. So I thought, how awesome would it be to have Janice with us again? Janice, what's been going on in your world this week?
Well, I've been doing a little bit of online dating myself, or at least planning some online dates. So I've been enjoying that.
Enjoy it.
I'm trying. It sure is time consuming, I have to say. I often, I try to be disciplined about it. So I try to, do it like just in the morning and just in the evenings. And that's not going too well for me because I just really want to relax in the evenings. And I feel like I've got another little task to take care of. But
full-time job.
Yeah, almost it is. But you know what? We talk about the dating mindset a lot and positive dating mindset. And one of the things that I'm always telling other people is it takes time. And so, if it's something that I want to explore, I need to, practice what I preach.
Yeah. I've been, online dating for quite some time now, and I have to go on it. I have to go off it. I go back on it, and I've just been struggling a lot lately because, like I was telling people that you may date 30 people, go on 30 dates, 15 to 20 of those dates may be people who are wackadoodles. You got to keep trying. And I'm pretty good about staying positive about that. But lately, I've just had so many really bad dates that I'm thinking, gosh, I wonder if everything is off and maybe I need to get realigned. I need to call Annie and have her realign me or something.
I think that so much can come out of taking a dating break, or like you and I were referring to it earlier, a dating detox. That might be just what you need, refresh yourself, re-energize, spend some time on your own, get to, love your own company, as I'm always talking about, and kind of shake some of the frustration that you have, and maybe you'll come at it, completely new and fresh and sexy and recharged, and maybe start having different results than you're currently experiencing.
Well, folks, if y'all haven't watched some of our previous shows and you're just joining us, Janice is a breakup dating coach, and she's also the co-host of a show called X-Files. Yep. And that's a really awesome podcast that can help you with moving on and breakups. And Janice, don't forget to put in the private chat your podcast information or your information where people can find you so that they can listen to that podcast. Because it's pretty great. Yeah, I was listening to it the other day. It was good.
Right?
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
Okay, what did you like about it?
Which one did I say it was?
You listened to working on yourself after a breakup.
Yeah. And that's what I've been on a kick of lately, really trying to work on myself. It when you hit a bad bump, it throws you for a loop, and you're like, oh wait, I got to get back on track for me and not self-doubt myself.
What do you think?
What's that?
What is the source of your self-doubt?
I've been going on some bad dates, so I'm thinking maybe my picker is off. And these men have been really abusive in verbal and emotional ways. That they're like gaslighting me, or, we did a live, oh my gosh, we did a live IG yesterday, Instagram live with Janice yesterday. And we talked about, what was our topic?
Leaving toxic relationships once and for all.
Yeah. And I was talking to you about a new term that I learned called dog whistling.
Oh, yeah.
And that actually just fucking happened to me.
Mhm.
And it's crazy. And just really quickly, folks, dog whistling is where somebody says something in public on purpose that knows it's a trigger point for you. And when that trigger point happens, it triggers you into a response that everybody else around you thinks it's just a normal conversation because they're hearing something different. And your person is triggering you on purpose so you can look like you're insane. And when that happens, they also get ammo for gaslighting you later, for bringing up something that you did wrong later. So that's been happening for me, and it's been very difficult. So here's my thought.
Okay, let me have it.
I think I need a matchmaker.
I was just gonna say, I've offered to give you some free coaching, but you know what? Matchmaking might be the key to the shift that you need to make, because I do think sometimes it could your selection process and your pre-date activity and interactions could be tweaked a little, and why not just completely eliminate it from the process? Let someone else do it.
Take myself out of the equation. Well, I did hire a matchmaker 5 or 6 years ago. I think I talked about that in a previous episode. I hired the wrong matchmaking company. It's a really bad matchmaking company. And you know what? I don't care. I'm going to say it because I have proof that they screwed me over. They're LA singles, and they were terrible. And they matched me with all these horrible people that were not vetted, who were not right for me, who one person even stalked me, and until I threatened to sue them, they didn't do anything about it. So
fascinating.
That's why I like to talk to all these different matchmakers, so I can help people, come up with the right tools to, go about it the right way. So today, I titled the show like this because I love this guy, Anthony. He's so awesome. I titled it The Confessions of a Male Matchmaker because I love just hearing inside scoops. But let me tell you a little bit about Anthony. He is dubbed on social media as LA's male matchmaker. Anthony, I should have asked him how to say his last name. When you come on, Anthony, you have to tell me your last name. It's Knappy, I think. He's a professional matchmaker dedicated to introducing men and women to high quality, vetted singles seeking long-term committed relationships. I need you. He's also the founder and Cupid of Best Man Matchmaking, an offline and personal matchmaking dating service for gay and queer California men who are tired of being the best man and ready to be the groom. And I love that. He has connected more than 800 plus singles, setting up more than 400 plus dates. And
That
with many,
legit.
Isn't that amazing? That is legit. He has a handful of engagements under his belt. Anthony brings empathy, love, and happiness to everyone he works with. And that's why this bitch is here today. Come on, Anthony.
Hello. Oh, what an introduction.
Woo! Baby, when you need an intro, you just call me, okay?
You're so sweet. Thank you so much for having me, Christine. It's an honor.
It's an honor to have you. I just love your energy. And when I saw you the first time, I was like, oh, he needs to be on my show.
Well, I'm here. You have me.
I do. I'm going to bundle you up and I'm going to keep you in my back pocket.
Well, you know what? He's in LA.
You gotta catch me.
Yeah, right? Well, I've been trying to convince Janice, she's in Denver, to come out here to LA. And she's going to come out here in June, Anthony. And we're going to have a party at my house. And you are invited.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, yeah.
We're going to dance.
Yes, yes.
You can bring
This
some of your
house.
single guys.
Maybe
Of
you
course.
can do like a single, matchmaking mingle, or what do you call those? A mingle, mix and mingle,
Mingle,
mixer.
single mingle.
A mix and mingle, yeah.
Let's do it. So Anthony, tell us how you got into the business.
Yeah, so ever since high school, I was very much so the individual where I was constantly just always infatuated with the idea of love. And I think a lot of that has to do with the family that I grew up in. I'm not speaking for like my culture or anything, but I do say that it was my background that got me to the place where I am today. I grew up Filipino, and growing up Filipino, I was always taught to, whenever we had parties or get-togethers, I was always forced by my mom, if she's seeing this, hi mom, if she's seeing this, she was always like, go talk to your aunties, go talk to your uncles. Oh, that's our new cousin. Go talk to him, go speak to him. And we were just always taught to network. So when I got into high school, I was always that person where I was like, oh my God, yeah, that teacher, yada, yada, yada. Who do you like, Janice? Oh my God, yeah, you like this person? Oh my God, that's so cool. I'll see you in 5th period. Walk, 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 walk. Oh, hi, Janice's crush. How are you? Da, 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 da. Oh, that's so great. And then we would talk, and I'd be all like, oh, is there anyone who you like? And then if they say Janice, I'm like, oh, well, you should talk to her because you may never know. Bye. And I would just leave. I would not even get in contact. I would just go. And then I was just always infatuated with that idea. And I will never forget. It was like, I can remember it like it was yesterday. My high school bestie at the time. It was the rise of when Tinder was like so high and everyone was getting so infatuated with the dating app scene. I remember telling my best friend when she made her Tinder profile, I looked at it. Sorry, mom, for my French, but I looked at it and I'm like, your profile is shit. Your photos are
You
shit.
tell
Your
her.
bio is shit. I'm taking new photos of you and I am going to make your bio and I'm going to swipe for you. And I remember
Aw.
doing it all, taking her photos, making her bio, her screaming at me that she doesn't like that man, but I'm telling her this man is great. And then there was this one guy that she dated for a while, thanks to me. And I even remember when they were even flirting, I was teaching her how to flirt. I was like, why are you sending those stupid Snapchats? You need to flip your hair, bite your lip, like make googly eyes, like roll your shoulders, do something like flirty, something that's going to catch his attention. And they dated for a little bit. So
I love that. Well, are you one of the few male matchmakers? Because I've always known female matchmakers.
yeah, so when you actually, fun fact for everyone who is new to the matchmaking industry, if you were to take and go on Google and type in LA matchmakers, and if you were to put a ratio to a number, this is roughly estimated. This is not like actually, I'm like roughly estimating it. Out of 30 matchmakers, there's probably 2 or 3 of us.
Wow.
Yeah, so the rest of them
Wow.
are female. So no surprise, this is a female-dominated industry. So very much so empowering women, you know. But I always like to tell people who are surprised that I'm a matchmaker, well, you do know Cupid is a man.
A great point. He's a baby, though, isn't he?
But look
He's a
at that
boy, but he's still a
face.
man.
Look at that face, though. Anthony's got that little baby cherub face.
Thank you so much.
He's a man child.
He
The man
is.
child. And people actually don't know matchmaking has been around for a while now, like since like the ages like BC, like AD. What people don't realize, I always tell them this, I always tell them, go watch Mulan and watch the scene where she's getting ready to look like a bride, and who does she get introduced to? And she's lining up with all these potential women. They're meeting the matchmaker.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So the matchmaker can match the woman to the emperor.
Well, maybe that's another tagline: the ancient art of
The ancient art. Ooh.
I love it.
What I'm basically saying is matchmaking has been around. People just haven't been seeing it until it's been like dubbed on social media with the amazing TV shows we have now, such as Millionaire Matchmaker or The Indian Matchmaker.
You know, our producer, he's sending us little messages. Jason, he's the voice behind the curtain. He just said the Sultan did it for his own daughter in Aladdin. That's true
Yeah, and that
story.
story actually is a really, really ancient. And so, yeah, people must have been doing it back then.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Setting people up.
I love that. So, you're here in LA, and I know that you have your offline personal matchmaking dating service for gay and queer California men, which is amazing. What's that called again?
Best man matchmaking.
I love that. But do you also work with hetero, how do I say it? Straight guys trying to
Yes.
find women too? Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
heterosexual men, women, gay, and queer men. What people don't realize is like my first official client was a female heterosexual woman.
Mm.
So ever since then, I was always infatuated with. I always would go to my girlfriends and be all like, "Oh yeah, Dan. Oh yeah, Timmy," and then go to my bros and be all like, "You know, this girl has like." I think she's looking at you. You should go and talk to her. Just go talk to her. Why not?
I love it. So when you match people, how do you vet them and what do you do with them? Do you coach them? Do you get them ready? What's your process?
So the first thing that I always tell future clientele whenever they sign with me is I always have them be open and vulnerable to the process because I feel like a lot of people, when they think of a matchmaker, they think of, oh, Anthony is in LA. He's going to match me with a sugar daddy or he's gonna match me with a hot sugar mama. And I'm just like, no, that's not my purpose. My purpose is to match you with someone who has shared beliefs and values that align with your own. And so that when you are living your life, this person can enhance your life just as this person will enhance you'll enhance this person's life. And
Nice.
when it comes to the vetting process, there's a lot of things that people don't realize when working with a matchmaker that is so beneficial. One of the big benefits is it's all personalized. So what I mean by personalized is people need to ask themselves questions when working with a matchmaker. What do you want out of working with a matchmaker? A lot of people like to
Mm.
say, oh, I would ask them, what's your viewpoints on marriage? What's your viewpoints on children? Is politics very important to you? Do you follow a religious faith? What is your viewpoint on deal breakers? What is your viewpoint on location? Are you open to dating someone outside the county? Are you open to dating someone outside the state? Are you open to dating someone outside of the country? And I would tell this to people, and some of them would answer them. Some of them would say, like, yeah, this is what I feel like. But some people would say, oh, I actually never thought of that. So I
Mm.
always tell them be open and vulnerable to the process because I'm a firm believer that you don't know where your partner is or how you're going to meet them. I
Yeah.
always say you can go to Bora Bora and you're going to meet someone and you're still going to be in contact with them. Or that childhood friend that you always like, maybe they had a crush on you this whole time, but none of you made the approach to say something. So it's
Right.
always something where at the end of the day, if you're always open-minded to the process and you're vulnerable to the process, you will get your way. So that's
Mm.
something I always tell people who are interested in my services. And
Mhm.
then I think something that they need to do and something that I help them with is elevation. What is something that I can do that is blocking you from your full dating potential?
Oh.
Sometimes people date, but there's just that barrier that they just can't overcome. Here's an
Mm.
example. There was this one person that I was date coaching, and I remember it like it was yesterday. I was date coaching this individual, and they were telling me, Anthony, this person's amazing. Like, he's great. He's awesome. This is a gay couple, by the way. They're awesome. They're amazing. He's bisexual, and all of his partners have been straight women, and I'm his first gay partner. And I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about someone in which, if we go out in public, we're probably going to get eyes looked at us. I don't know if he's comfortable holding hands with me. What if we do get married? Is that something awkward for him? I can't give him biological children. What can I do? And I told him, hey,
Mm.
it's important for you to talk and communicate with him and get his point of view. Maybe the reason why he's not talking to you about it is because A, you never talked about it, or B, it's not an issue for him. And I always told him, if you communicate and you overly communicate, you're going to get your point across, and he's going to affirm your insecurities, because all of these things that are fears come from insecurities of ours that we're afraid to overcome. I'm happily to say 4 years later, they're happily married. But if it's something in which I didn't help him, insecurities are the things that block us from our potential to being the best selves we can be in today's modern world. So it's something that I don't care if you're the perfect person in the world, there's something blocking you. Yeah. And it's not going to be overnight. And I understand that. It's going to be something where it can still be with you to this day. I keep in contact with this person. He's still very anxious about certain things. And he always gets the confirmation from his husband. But something that just makes me happy is just, if I was the pillar of helping you overcome what was being yourself and being your best person you can be, that's all I could care about. A lot of people, as a matchmaker, this is 50 Shades of Bullshit. I think I have to say it right now. A lot of people think as a matchmaker, I see it on Reddit, I'm looking at you, Reddit. They're all like, he's just going to con you of your money. If I was going to con you from my money, I would rather get a better job to con you from your money.
Yeah, say it, Anthony.
Because a lot of people are all
800 matches is, I think, a pretty good track record.
Yes.
Thank you so much. But no, yeah, a lot of people, they're all like, his memberships is going to be this much and he just wants your money and he doesn't really care about your feelings. But at the same time, I'm like, no, that's not the case whatsoever. I've been in this industry now ever since I was in high school, and I can happily say that I am just so infatuated with the idea of love, and I'm so happy with the upbringing that I have to have this. I would like to say it's like a superpower of mine, the power of networking. And I just love being the person where, even if I even say this to all my individuals who are like interested, I said, I can't guarantee you I will find you your person. I can guarantee you that after your experience with me, I hope that you had an experience in which you learned more about yourself. You gained this confidence that you never had when it comes to dating. And overall, I hope that this gives you this form of a rekindle of the fire of when it comes to dating, and you're ready to go, and you're ready to go back to date and find your person. Because a lot of the people with dating apps, it's not guaranteed. And a lot of people give up. They kind of like get lazy, go into bad habits lifestyle wise, because they feel as though there's no purpose. But there is purpose. I'm here to help you. And I hope that I can guide you.
There's a lot of bullshit on dating apps. You know, there's been some people that have found their significant others and gotten married, and there's people that have found each other and they're happy. That's great. But there's a lot of crap on there. And I think that, you know, having the right dating coach is important. I think I struggle, with finding the right one. So that's why I like to bring on different matchmakers and say, hey, how do people find the right matchmaker? What kind of questions do we need to ask them?
Right.
Janice, have you ever done a matchmaking situation?
I haven't. I haven't. I have to be honest. I've not ever felt very challenged in meeting people. I meet a lot of people in real life. I don't allow myself to get very frustrated and bogged down by the dating apps. I find, I have a lot of fun with the process. So I've never used a matchmaker, but I can absolutely see the benefit of it for sure. I mean, Christine, what we were just talking about earlier, you can, I think, get tired of the guessing, get tired of, keeping your fingers crossed that someone's going to turn out to be the decent person that they're seeming to be whilst you're, in the DMs. And I think that, a lot of the things that we talk about and, the things that you consider to be problems in your dating life would probably be eliminated with, with a matchmaking mentor.
Yeah. So Anthony, how do you find matches? I mean, how do you find people to try to match?
So how I find my matches is I'm old school. I go to events. I love
Mm.
going to events. I love, like I said, I'm a big networker and I just love meeting people. I love going, even if it's not a networking event and it's like a fun party or it's something lively and outgoing. I just love going to new places, meeting new people. And sometimes they'll ask me, Anthony, what do you do for a living? And I'm just like, funny you ask. I'm a professional matchmaker. And
You're
some
like
of them,
recruiting people.
huh?
So it's kind of like you're recruiting people.
Mhm.
Kind of, but not really, because
Okay.
I kind of like one half of me is just introducing myself, but the other half of me is like, you're single, right? Oh, you're single. Oh, how is it on the dating apps? Oh, you're not dating anyone on the dating apps. You're not on the dating apps. Oh, actually, let's talk for a little bit. Let's talk for 10 to 15 minutes. But most of the time, people come to me and they say, oh my God, what? You're a professional? Tell me about that. What do you do? And I just explain what I do. And I've had people who are like, Anthony, can I talk to you privately? I'm this age. I am so over the dating apps. It's a load of bullshit. I want to see if I can work with you. Can we talk? And then we would talk. And then some people, if they're married, I'm like, congratulations, that's amazing. And then I would love to, like I told you, I'm infatuated with the idea of love. How'd you meet your person? Oh my God, that's so cool. Whether that's from an event or a dating app, I'm happy for them. They found their person. That's all I care about. And we just move
Yeah.
on to the next topic. So a lot of word of mouth, definitely, but also social media. I feel like because we live in the age that we live in today, I feel like the best way to reach people is through social media.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. People are not going to be afraid to DM you and be like, so what do you do? Or they're not just going to be afraid to cut to the point. I'm single. I'm interested. Let's talk. And I'm like, okay, honey, let's talk. Let's talk about this. Let's see how I can work. Let's do this.
So someone hires you, and then do you typically already have kind of a pool of people who you want to work from, or do you then go out and find specific people for them?
Each person is
good
different.
question.
Okay.
Each person is different. So what I do is I get them in for a consultation. And in this consultation, it's a full hour. The first 30 minutes, I just have them talk about them. Just them. I'm just like, this is not about me. Let me hear about you. I want to hear about your upbringing. Do you have a big family, small family? Are you close with your family? Tell me your experience on the dating apps. Tell me how it is when it comes to dating in general. Have you had luck? When was your last serious relationship? What are you looking for in a partner? And then the last 30 minutes, I tell them what I do. And I tell them how my services are operated. And I don't push them anything. I just tell them, here are my options. What are you thinking right now? Oh, you're interested in just getting the database? Oh, great. Let's go to the next steps. Oh, you want to be a client? Oh, that's great. Let's follow up next week so I can go through the contract with you if you have any questions. I don't want to push them to do anything. A lot of people just like to say, I have 3 beautiful women, Janice, and I want to give you and offer you this contract for this amount of money. And I'm just like, no, I'm not going to push you to do anything you don't want to do. Because a lot of people, they like to think that we're forcing you to do something. But I'm like, no. At the end of the day, we're professional cupids. And we're all in love with the idea of love. And how it goes when it comes to the person and getting to know them. If I have someone, great. If I don't, I let them know and I scout. I go out in the world, whether I'll go to San Diego, I'll go to Oceanside, I will go to Palm Springs, I'll go to San Francisco. I will go and find you your person. I remember.
I love the sound of this scavenger hunt.
I know.
I had a client. I went so far for this client. I went to my friends. I went to my personal friends. And I don't talk about matchmaking with my friends. I leave business to business. But I'm just like, hey, I have this client. I want to talk to you. If you'd be interested in them. I went that far. And I even went to the point, and this shows how much my family are just natural networkers. They're all like, oh, honey, Auntie Cindy, she's been single for quite a while now. Why don't you talk to her about your services? And I'm just like, okay, if they're interested, let's talk about it. So
I have a question. You mentioned database and a client. What's the difference between the database and a client?
That's what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, so think of a database as like a Rolodex or a registry. So think of it as like kind of like a little like I have you in my back pocket. And then let's say I run into someone and they want to sign on as a client where you are guaranteed a certain number of matches, whereas people in the database are just in the database and they're like they're in a pool, like a pool of like eligible individuals, like a Rolodex, like a registry. And let's say this client, I have someone in my back pocket, my registry. So that's how I
come to Denver like 1 week out of the month. You can put me in your database for that.
Essentially, you're in the database until you get into a relationship. That's the reality of it.
I was curious. I love the matchmaking shows. I have to say, it probably drives you crazy, but
Me too.
so one thing I know is a lot of times you hear back from people about how their dates went, right? So I've been looking forward to asking you what is, maybe something surprising or crazy or frustrating, or what's a memorable report back that you've gotten about a first date?
Where to start? I'm just like, where to start? I am just like, where to start? Okay, so there is this story that has happened, and I literally remember it like it was yesterday, because I remember when this happened, I was like, oh, what am I gonna do? I have to talk to this person. Okay, so the most memorable thing that I got from a date, and it was so crazy. So it was a gay client of mine, and I set him up with a great guy. They had a great first date, okay? And then the second date happened and everything was going well. And then they get to the third date. I will never forget it. The guy, of course, at the third date, you want to get a little sexual, a little bit touchy and whatever. And then I remember I get a text in the middle of the night and this guy was like, we're both bottoms. And I was like, I remember I was like, okay, and he got mad at me. He was like, why would you set me up with another bottom? And I was like,
vetted for that.
Here's the thing. This is a very controversial thing. A lot of people always tell me I'm a bot heterosexual men and women, you don't have to worry about this. This is more of a gay, queer, bisexual thing they have to worry about. A lot of people like to throw me their sexual preference in the bedroom, but I really could care less. I really do. I really feel like if this is an amazing person, why would you veto them just because they have a certain preference in the bedroom? Why not explore that in the bedroom and talk about that in the bedroom? But I remember he was so hot-headed and he was like, Anthony, two bottoms don't work in the bedroom. And I was like, first of all, it's like, what time at night? Can I call you in the morning? Can we talk about this in the morning?
I have a question though. I mean, I could be wrong, but aren't two lesbians basically top and bottom? I mean, aren't they the same thing? I mean, I could be wrong.
Here's the thing. It happens in heterosexual men and women as well, where chemistry may not happen in the bedroom. That's why you explore it. That's why a lot of people, they're afraid of this whole like, oh my God, like I'm going to have sex. It's going to be great, whether it's a hookup or after the first date, after the how much date. People tend to forget sometimes the sex is not going to be good. What do you do then? Sadly, a lot of people ghost. So I remember I got on the call with him and I'm just like, okay, let's talk. And then I told him, I was like, why is this an issue? And he was like, we're both bottoms. It's not going to work. And I was like, why can't you just explore? And he was like, but I'm a bottom. Yeah. And I was like, but why are you blocking this amazing person who has values and beliefs, is in a good place in his life, is very much happy with where he's at in his life? And you're just blocking him out because he has a certain way of how he presents himself in the bedroom. Why not explore that realm? And he was like, you know what, Anthony, we'll try it out. We'll see what happens. And then I don't know how long it was after, but I remember they're still dating, like the last time I got in contact with them. So I was like, it's not an issue.
Anthony, you
Yeah.
go.
Because
You
a lot
know
of
the
people
right
think,
questions to ask. What I think that's great. Yeah, I love that you are, bringing in this aspect of the coaching along with connecting people. I think that's
thank you,
great.
because a lot of people, like, they don't think about this, Janice. They really don't think about, like, is the sex gonna be bad? They're just ready to hook up. They're ready to have fun.
No, I think about it all the time.
You think about it all the time, Christine?
I do, because this has been my problem. I want to have sex right away when I meet somebody because I want to know if it's going to be good or bad. Because
But
if
you
it's
have
bad,
to-
I want to.
It's better though if you let the chemistry build. Okay, I mean,
I
this
try.
sometimes
I'm
when
trying.
you let the chemistry build and the tension and the anticipation build, then that adds to having a great sexual experience.
My date last night, I let it build, and we went
For one date?
No, 3 dates. 3
Oh,
dates. It was
okay.
on my 3rd date,
Okay.
and I did a bunch of special things for him. And then we got to where we were trying to be, and it wasn't going to work. It just didn't work. There was no chemistry there. It wasn't working. It wasn't working.
But I don't think that first date would have necessarily.
I don't know. It just made me feel like I wasted my time. And that's a double-edged sword, because I get that maybe the first time might be bad, and I've tried to then give them a second chance to see if the second or third time around could be better, and sometimes it just doesn't work. It's just sometimes they just don't. They're takers, and they're not givers at all. You know what I mean?
That's just part of dating. That's just part of the journey. That's just part of getting to know someone. Yeah, sometimes this happens. Sometimes it doesn't.
And Christine, sometimes it is a deal breaker for some, and that's okay, because it's something in which you feel like it's a must. And for some people, it does have an obstacle when it comes to just seeing where it could go. And sometimes it just doesn't work. And people like to say, like, what was it about me? What was it about them? Listen, it has nothing to do with how amazing and how established you both are as individuals. It's just when it comes to this realm of your dating experience where it just wasn't a connection, which is why it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
And maybe there's that someone where it will.
Well,
And
I
it'll
got to
take-
tell you. I'm going to tell you. Oh, I just hit my camera. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to get down and dirty. I'm going to tell you what the fuck happened.
Please do.
Oh gosh, here we go.
We got naked and we started to get like all intimate, right? And he started being too rough with me physically. Too rough. Like I have very sensitive skin. I have a very sensitive body. I feel things really intensely. So if you're going to grab me hard, it's not going to work. If you're going to push me hard, it's not going to work. I believe in rough sex. Yeah, I believe in, like, let's get down and dirty. Great. But not for the first time. And he kept biting me.
Whoa. And what did he do when you told him to stop?
He bit me so hard, I literally screamed and said, "Oh my fuck, it hurt so bad." And I said, "You cannot bite me that hard. If you want to bite, nibble, nibble, nibble. Do not bite me." He spent the next 20 fucking minutes biting me as hard as he could anywhere he wanted on my body. And it was horrific and it was painful. And I kept saying, and at one point I started crying because it was so painful. and then
I think that's a really bold move for like the first time that you're with someone. And that has happened to me as well with the biting. And it's like, you just came, out of the park just with that, He don't even test the waters or nothing.
He wouldn't listen to what I was saying. Be gentle, be slow, be sexy. Just take your time. I'll get there if you take your time. And he just like a freight train, and it was like hard, and everything was like and it was terrible. And I was like, to be quite frank, we did not actually get to the sex part because it was too much. I just was like, okay, I'm done. Okay, you can't if we can't even listen to me in the foreplay, then you're not going to listen to me during the sex.
And you know, Christine, that's the red flag. The red flag, even though the biting was terrible, I'm so sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah.
The red flag was he didn't listen.
Yeah.
And that's the deal breaker of it all.
Yes.
And maybe that even can go further. A lot of people don't realize that it can probably go further. If he's not going to listen to you in the bedroom, is he going to listen to you in real life?
Yeah, I agree.
Drop it and move on. I'll find you someone better, girl.
Oh, I want to be in your database. I'm a broke ass bitch, and I'm working, I'm hustling, and I'm trying to make some deals happen, but I can't afford a matchmaker right now. So I just want to be in your database because you can find me someone.
I'll keep an eye out for you. Keep an eye out. But here's something I'll say to all those people. Listen to the woman when you're having sex with her. It's going to be 10 times better. And don't be, I'm going to bite you as hard as I can and make the girl cry. Because that's gonna be that's gonna be the horror story of it all, and you may never know that this girl is gonna go on a radio show of her own and talk about the experience.
I didn't say his name. I will not say his name. I won't even indicate who and what he is. But he didn't listen, and it wound up being really intensely bad, not only because of that, but there were other red flags that I was seeing. So I got out of that, and I got out without having sex with him. So I feel really happy about that. Really?
Winning.
What's that?
Winning.
Yeah, because I'm going to be honest with you. Before I started working on myself, and before I started like really trying to, make me a better me to attract better people, I would have just had pity sex or gone, let's just get it over with so I can get out of here, and just had sex just to get it over with. I was like, no can do. We're done. You bit me for the last fucking 50th time. I'm done. I was this close to, and you just was too much, and I'm done. I was a sure thing, and you fucked that up. So we're done. Peace out. Go home. Mic drop. So I was like, no. And I felt really proud of myself that I did not have sex with him, and I was like, this feels good. I'm done, So that's a big move for me. Not that I have sex with everybody, but when I want to, I will, but
having boundaries could be so empowering. So I'm glad you had that experience.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like it.
Well, Anthony, what do you find that people struggle with the most when it comes to the dating game?
I feel like when it comes to dating, a lot of people misplace preferences that are just preferences as deal breakers. I see it all the time, and there are just some things that I hear from people that I'm just like,
yep,
okay, you're single for a reason. I will never forget, it was the episode of the Steve Harvey show, and he had a guest on, and she had like this wide list of like deal breakers, and some of these deal breakers were like outrageous. I'm sorry, girl, if you're gonna ever hear this, but I'm just like, girl, you're like, one of the preferences deal breakers that she said was, I can't date someone whose favorite season is fall.
Okay.
And then another
go.
thing, and then another one was like, they can't be tougher than me, or they can't be stronger than me. And I was like,
do you want a wimpy, skinny guy who dreads and
then there were like things that were just unnecessary. Like she was like, I don't want to date any gamers. I don't want to date anyone who's close to their family. And I'm like,
Janice is stuck on they can't be stronger.
I don't understand that at all. Like, you cannot be physically stronger than you.
Yeah. And there's like literally like they're all like, yeah, I've been single for all this time. And I'm just like, well, there's why. There's why. And there are some things that people are telling me, Anthony, it's a deal breaker. Here's the reason why. But I'm like, that's not a good reason. So I actually did a reel on my Instagram. And one of the heterosexual women that I had as a member, she was like, well, I'm pretty short. I'm 5'2". So a guy taller than me is great. I prefer if they're like 6'2" to 6'4". And I was like, but you're 5'2", 5'3". And she was like, okay, yeah, I know. The shortest guy I'll date is 5'10". And I was like,
Yeah,
you're 5'2", 5'3".
I was gonna ask you the specific question about women and height, because it's become kind of something that frustrates me to hear from so many women, that they're putting this criteria and having this preference be the 6 foot and up, because it has no bearing on a man's personality or how good he's going to be to you or what anything about him really. And I think it's a real shame that we've become like so focused on height and and this desire politics that we're playing with.
Funny that you brought that up, Janice. So it was actually done by another dating coach on social media. And it was actually proven that 8 to 9 out of 10 women, so 8 to 9 out of 10 women, they would put on, so 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 women, they would actually put on dating apps 5'8" or taller. So all the men that are 5'8" and lower, they're not showing up on dating apps.
Yeah,
so a lot
their,
of men, on their thing. And a lot of that has to do with height. And a lot of people, they come to me and most women say tall. Okay, great. But here's the thing. I can understand if you're 5'8", 5'9", 6 foot. I can understand that. But if you're telling me you're 5'5" and you want someone who's like, they have to be 6'2", I'm just like, give the 5'8" and under men a chance. they just want love too.
I completely agree. It has nothing to do with how they're going to be as a potential partner at all.
And I said this on my social media as well. They were all like, Anthony, I just don't know if it's gonna work. And I'm just like, look at Tom Holland and Zendaya. Zendaya's 5'10", Tom Holland's 5'8".
Making it work.
Yeah.
And guess what? I think it was an interview. I may be wrong, but I think the interviewer brought it up, and I think both Tom and Zendaya were like, hey, we actually never talked about it because it wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
people are making it
so many
issues.
people if you're with that criteria.
Yeah. I can understand deal breakers. Deal breakers are big values and beliefs that it's something where you just can't break. So for example, marriage. Marriage is something that's very important to some people. For others, it's not. Children is very important to some people. It is to not. If you're devout to a religious faith, it's important to people. But if you're going to come to me and you're going to tell me, I will never forget this other dater, I can't see myself dating vegans because I love my meat too much. I'm like, that's not an issue. And then they're all like, no offense.
Value.
I know. I was like, that's not the issue. And then he was like, oh, no, it has nothing to do with the lifestyle they live. I just love eating meat too much that I think it's just going to be the problem with our dating life when we go out to eat. And I'm like, no, it won't.
I mean, as a vegetarian, I have to say I've never dated a vegetarian. And it's not a thing, I can assure you.
Yeah. But I remember when they told me that, I was kind of like, it's not an issue.
Yeah.
It's not an issue.
Well, I did date a vegan one time, and he was strict vegan, and I have a hard time with veggies, and we had a hard time finding a place to eat. And when we did eat together, he nitpicked at me about being a meat eater. So we did have some issues there. So it can become an issue, but I don't think it should be a criteria or a reason to not see somebody. Any individual situation can be its own individual situation.
Exactly. There's ways that you can find around it. But if you're telling me that it's all like, oh, why can't this person, I can never give up cheese. I'm like,
you are hilarious.
I love you, Anthony. Well,
wait.
I hate that the time flies so much when I'm having a blast.
No.
It doesn't feel like 49 minutes has passed.
I know. First of all, I want to say, Janice, thank you for being here. Say how to spell your X-Files website. Oh, there it is.
So much.
There it
Yes,
is.
I would love everyone to come join us. X-Files podcast, Breakups, Broken Hearts, and Moving On. It's X with an EX, as in X, Files with a PH.
Nice. And then Anthony, how are people going to find you again? Jason, if you could put his info up. I can't thank you enough, Anthony, for coming on because you are so much fucking fun. And I have to go socialize with you. If you have a party or a social thing that you're going to, please invite me.
We're gonna do it.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know. And also, you said this in the beginning of the episode, Kanapi. That's how you say my last name. Kanapi.
Oh, yes. I was saying it wrong. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. You were close. I've seen a lot of people say worse. I've seen Kanopi. I've seen Kanopai. And I'm like, okay.
I think I said Kanapi.
Yes.
Sorry.
No worries.
Says my last name wrong too. But thank you, Anthony. I'm serious though. I want to be in your database because I'm really struggling. And I want a non-biter. No, I'm kidding. I just want someone to listen to me.
No worry. We'll get on a call.
Well, thank you everyone for coming and watching us today. Please reach out to Janice if you're needing a breakup dating coach, and listen to our X-Files. Those of you who need to find your person, Anthony is the guy to find. Please reach out to him, and please come back and see us again. Same time, same place. And until then, keep it real.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share with your friends, like and follow us on Instagram at 50 Shades of _bullshit and Facebook at 50 Shades of Bullshit. Thanks so much for listening, and we really hope to see you again next week.